Hi guys, it's Lily and I'm back with my July Plan With Me video. Earlier this month I was watching a YouTube video from Zeke's Lunchbox, which is an art channel, and she was trying out these Prima marketing tropical watercolors and they looked really cool, so I bought them and they inspired the theme this month, which is a tropical theme. It was really fun to buy a new supply and then kind of let that inspire the artwork this month. I think I'm kind of guilty of buying new art supplies and then not using them or thinking that I'm gonna feel inspired and then I'm not. So this actually worked out really well. For the cover page, I decided to do a bunch of banana leaves. So I drew them out first with a Prismacolor Coal Erase in the color, light blue. And then now I'm just going in with the watercolor. And I decided to only use 3 colors from the tropical palette. There's kind of 2 similar green colors that I'm going to be using, and then that more yellow neon green. And occasionally I'm dropping a little bit of that neon green on top of the other darker green to create kind of, a more interesting faded color for the leaves. This month I really sped up the speed paint. It's quite a long one, and I decided that I would post a slower version on my channel as just a standalone speed paint, because I'm not really sure if people enjoy watching the painting process or if it's too much for a planning video. So this is kind of a happy medium, I think, where people who are interested can watch kind of a slower, more relaxed version with music and maybe paint along. And then people who are kind of more here for the planning and the theme get this really sped up version. So I don't know how people feel about that, but for right now I think that's gonna work. If you have an opinion, I'd love to hear it. So yeah, this painting took a long time, I think because it was hard to separate the leaves out with the values. So I had to keep adding layers. And then I was kind of moving around the page to let some areas dry, and then I'd paint a different section and then come back once that area was dry. I thought this was gonna be a much faster painting. Just because overall the shapes are fairly simple, and yeah, it's just a bunch of leaves. But yeah, just trying to create the shadows and kind of make them pop and separate from each other was just slightly more challenging than I anticipated. But I really enjoyed drawing and painting these, and adding little pops of that lighter green color, and yeah, it was really fun. And yeah, so here I was trying to decide if I wanted to paint the background color, that peachy color, or the more violet color. But I decided I just really liked the leaves on the white background. It looked really clean and, I don't know, a little bit more modern. So yeah, I'm glad I did that instead of making the whole page full of color. Now I'm just going in with my Faber-Castell watercolor pencils to add the little lines that are on the leaves, a little bit of texture. And in a couple areas I used it to add a little bit more shading, but mostly it was just for the like right there I'm adding little shadow. For the most part I just used it for the lines on the leaves. And now I'm doing my title. At first I thought I wanted to pull in more of that like really bright yellow green, and then now I'm just testing out the different options, just having a plain white one, white background title, versus the bright green. And I decided I didn't like the bright green. Then I don't know, I added dots with the green and I didn't like that either. So third time's the charm. I actually think that lettering is better too, so. I'm just pasting it in. So yeah, I'm really happy with how the leaves turned out and how the cover page looks. And now I'm starting on my quote page. I started out with my micron on the text I knew I wanted to be black, and I was still trying to decide what other colors to use in this quote, and I actually wish I had done a different color scheme. I think it's just too matchy-matchy with the cover page, but I don't know. What do you think? Should I have added more colors or less colors? I actually think maybe just doing it in mostly black with like a little pop of green would be nicer. But yeah, you can see I'm just adding like that bright yellow. It's not terrible. I don't know. I kind of wish I'd switch it up a little bit. At the bottom I added these, I think it's plumeria flowers. I think their shape is really cool and seems very like tropical. Good, very stereotypical tropical flower. This quote page came together pretty quickly, luckily. It says, "Give yourself the same care and attention that you give to others, and watch yourself bloom," which I thought went well with the kind of tropical theme. And now I'm on to my calendar page, which is, I think, the third month I'm doing quote-unquote real calendar, and it's working really well for me. Somehow I'm still surprised because I avoided it for so long, but yeah, I'm really liking it. This month I had to put the title down on the bottom right side instead of the top left, and I actually prefer putting it on the top left, but with the first being on a Monday, I couldn't really do that unless I wanted to start out the calendar on a different day of the week. So it's good to switch things up though. So I wrote out July with my masking fluid pen, and I'm just adding some more plumeria flowers around July, and I'm gonna paint that section in. Oh, and I added little like they're supposed to be kind of like palm fronds, but I don't know if that's totally successful. And I'm using that same color from before on the cover page. These watercolors, I did end up really enjoying them. They're pretty pigmented, And yeah, I don't know if they're like the highest quality, but they're definitely, I think, a little bit better than student grade. And it was fun to have a palette already sort of planned out. And yeah, it worked really well for this month. For these plumeria, I did add that more like purpley color. Just add a little bit extra, a pop of color so it's just not like green and yellow the whole month. And then I need to add another color so that the July would really pop. So I'm adding this really pretty blue. And I think I actually preferred this before I added the blue, but it does make the July letters pop when I remove the masking fluid, so oh well. I guess it does look pretty tropical with the blue, more like vibrant and colorful. And then it looked kind of random just to have that box painted down there, so I'm adding a drop shadow with that blue color. Because I wanted to pull it to other places on the page, but I didn't want to have to like paint everything, like the entire background that blue color. And then I'm just adding kind of a bar at the top to make the number section a little bit more noticeable and give it that kind of more standard calendar look. Yeah, I think it looks nice. It makes the page seem more balanced with color. So yeah, that's my calendar page. Now you can see I've removed the masking fluid on July. And we're already on to my gratitude page. This month, I tried to add decoration to the middle of the page, because normally I do all of my numbers down on the left side and then I'll add like very small decorative elements on the right side. So I'm trying this new kind of method of decorating my gratitude page. So I kind of made like a little border in the middle, and I'm painting some birds of paradise flowers, which I absolutely love. And yeah, the colors worked really well with kind of this scheme we already have going. So yeah, I love how the little like green heads of the plant turned out with the mix of colors. And now we're on my habit tracker and workout tracker page, which is my kind of, for right now, my standard layout. I added a little bit more decoration than I normally do at the top, just because this page otherwise is pretty boring. And like the gratitude page, I have trouble trying to add, I don't know, some interest to it just because it's like kind of a full page. But I like how this turned out. Instead of just lettering out like habit tracker full size, I left space to paint in some more plants. And I'm painting the monstera, kind of like, I think it's called Swiss cheese sometimes. Swiss cheese plant. I don't know if that's true. So yeah, I did switch out one of my habits for this month. Last month I had tried out a no spend habit, and I didn't do a great job with it. So this month I'm putting in plant care, and obviously the plants don't need to be watered daily, but it's just a nice reminder for me to kind of check in on them and see if any plants are getting dry or, how they're doing. So I think that will be a better habit to try out. I'm still really loving this method for tracking my workouts with different colors for the different types of workout, because I can really easily kind of visually see if I'm doing enough of a variety of workouts, and if I've done like a long string of workouts and I need to have a rest day, or yeah, it's just a really nice, easy visual way to track things. So we are already on to the weekly spread. For the weekly spread, I decided to do more banana leaves because they're a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm just doing them along the edges of the page. So I more or less just doodled them and kind of tried to make them fill the page in a non-symmetrical way. Like the left side obviously doesn't match the right side. For these, I went in and outlined them with my micron, just because I thought it would take less time to paint them if I already had the edges designated, kind of. And then this is my standard weekly layout, which I love because I do a lot of lists, so the long skinny boxes work really well for me. Still doing my mood tracker and my sleep tracker weekly, which is great because I've never filled in a mood tracker when it's been on a monthly page, but when it's on a weekly page, it's much easier, and I've been filling them in every week, so that's nice. And I can kind of see if my sleep is affecting my mood at all, which is interesting. I think it would be interesting to put in other data there too, like switch out the sleep tracker for maybe another workout tracker, and I could see how working out affected my mood. Just because it's nice having it directly next to each other, so I can see if there's any like patterns happening. And then this page was really easy to paint because I'm just more or less repeating what I did on the cover page. And you can kind of see now the difference between how the paint absorbs and moves on the Archer and Olive paper versus the watercolor paper. I feel like it came out a little bit more pigmented on the Archer and Olive, just because it really grabs the color very quickly, so you don't have as much time to like move it around. It like kind of sucks it in. But it's nice because it turned out really vibrant and colorful, which is what you want for a tropical theme. And yeah, banana leaves are pretty easy to draw, especially because they're just organic and you can kind of make up how the leaves should go. And I think this would be pretty easy to do with Tombow markers if you're not into watercolor. Sometimes I think about doing a tutorial for whatever I'm painting, like other bullet journalists do. But I don't know, it's not quite the same because I'm using watercolor, and I don't know if people are as interested in a watercolor tutorial. Just because I think most people use markers in their bullet journal. But if you're interested in tutorials, let me know, because I could definitely do that. I really love how this page turned out, and I loved last month's theme very much. I was sad to move on from it, but I actually think this might be my new favorite weekly spread ever. So, and it did take a lot more effort than the last month. but I think it was worth it. So now I'm just doing the same thing I did on the cover page. I'm adding the lines on the leaves with my watercolor pencil. And it doesn't, like, it adds so much. It doesn't really look complete until you add that texture. I've started to realize I think I've said texture in every single bullet journal video so far. But it really does make a difference, I think. So yeah, that is about it for this month, for July. Last month I forgot to do a flip through, so I made sure to do one this month. And here it is. I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you liked this video and want to see more, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. You could also help me out by hitting that like button, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!